Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with the free pick in the Iowa versus Michigan college football matchup on Saturday, December 2nd, 2023. Of course, I do tons of free picks every day. When you give out that many free picks, you're bound to like some games more than others. We put our best bets under the premium picks tab at Pickdawgz.com. You can use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have Dime Club and Sharp Trading Plays. These are meant for people who make big bets. Like I make big bets. I know a lot of you do as well. So be sure to text that number and find out all about it. But let's get to this one. Iowa taking on Michigan. It is the Big Ten championship game. Of course, Iowa has really struggled on the offensive side this season, but 10-2 coming into this game. Michigan, a perfect 12-0 coming off of that big win over Ohio State last week. You know, of course, Michigan wanting to get back to the college football playoff. Of course, last year it was a disaster against TCU. And you know what we've seen from Michigan outside of beating Ohio State the last 3 years, which is not like a small feat. We're not going to diminish that. What we are going to say is that Michigan hasn't won a big game in like the last 50 years, you know, when it comes to, you know, championship style stuff. They did split a title once, but that was with the Nebraska team that if they played them, they would have gotten shellacked. In hindsight, that team won 3 national titles in 4 years, including back-to-back titles when they won the following year after the year that they split with Michigan. So the Wolverines, a lot to play for, and certainly they have a giant gorilla on their back. And while they aren't painted that with that picture, that is the reality of the situation. It's not, I'm not a hater. I'm not any of those things. I'm just looking at exactly what's transpired in the college football world over the last 50 years or so. And what we see is a pretty empty trophy case for the Michigan Wolverines outside a couple Heismans and a guy who's won a bunch of Super Bowls but didn't win anything when he was the quarterback at Michigan. When we look at this Iowa Hawkeyes team, really an inept offense, I think is what you could call it. They are about as dumbed down and bad as you see it, including a 12-10 loss to the Minnesota Golden Gophers. The thing about that game against Minnesota, which separates Iowa from being a 11-1 team coming into this game, is this a fair catch? Is that a fair catch? Or do the referees just absolutely have to blow it every single year? I don't know what it was, to be honest with you, but I think you give the guys the benefit of the doubt with the magnitude of the game that was. And I think that, you know, with replay, you should at least be able to get it right. And I don't know. Maybe they need to go over it with these kick returners before the game, exactly what's going to signify a fair catch and exactly what isn't. But anyways, I expect to see this one be a buckle up the chin strap type game. While the under is a very, very low number, and I do see myself sprinkling a little bit on the under in this game, I think the Iowa defense is going to be able to hold this Michigan offense in check. And I think that Michigan, instead of going for touchdowns, a lot of these, they're going to have to settle for field goals. And I think that that's going to keep Iowa somewhat in this game. I'm going to take the better than 3 touchdowns with the Iowa Hawkeyes, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks today, putting your bets in, be sure to use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com. They're 100% free. They'll tell you how often each of the bets on the board today is actually hit. Pair them with today's odds, putting you on the most favorable bets on the board today.